The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you. At that time, Jesus looked up and saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw a poor widow put in 2 copper coins. And he said, "Truly, I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all of them, for they all contributed out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, put all the living that she had." The Gospel of the Lord. God is good and all the time. So, last week we were reading the book of Maccabees. And the mother to the son ended up telling them, "It's better to die, because even he who put you in my womb, I know not. And therefore he is worth giving back your life to, than to give your life and to the defilement of the temple and of eating what is not lawful." And eating what is not lawful, that is the pig, would stand for eating what is sinful and committing ourselves to sin. Today, we begin the book of Daniel. You know, we are at the end of the year. And now before you head up to the feast of the Christ the King, we talk about the eschatos, the last 4 things: death, judgment, heaven, and hell. And this thing, beginning yesterday now, we began with the gospel of simplicity. When we were celebrating the king, if you thought we are celebrating a magnificent, sometimes when we depict, if you saw the pictures people are sending on social media, they were sending a king holding the world with a magnificent crown and a good gown. But the king we are celebrating is this: a naked, a worn out, with instead of a crown of a gold, he is given a crown of a thorn. And that is our king. And I told people, this is the king we are celebrating, it's like taking one of us and stripping them naked and following them in town and singing, "This is our king." People will see mad people. How can you follow a naked person and a person who is beaten and wearing a crown of thorns and you are calling him a king? Are you normal? If this is your king, naked, hanging. That is the gospel of yesterday. Today the same thing is repeated in the first reading. There are these guys, Daniel and the companions, who are taken to the king. And most of the time, this is the delusion that comes into our mind, that when you have association with the mighty and the powerful, you will grow, you will look good, you will be honored. But Daniel says, "No, I will eat what the king doesn't eat." And in our simplicity, we are able to change even the hearts of the kings. But when you just want to appear with the mighty, you will never change them, and you yourself will end up in the rot. Those who ate from the king's table, instead of becoming better, they became even worse. But those who ate from those stuff, they became better, and the king admired them. And eventually, as we go on, because today we are also celebrating the feast of Dung-Lac, Andrew, and his companion. Daniel and the companion are put in the furnace of fire. And when they enter there, let me tell you, the moment you decide to go against the mighty, you will be put in the furnace of fire. The moment you let anyone start now going against the government, they will plot everything and they will bring all the ugly spots that you can get in that person's life, and that is putting you in the furnace of fire. But eventually, they came out unscathed. And the king says, I will only worship the God of Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego. When we stand our ground, even if our blood were to spill, it will live, it will talk, even centuries after we are dead. And today's gospel, coming from yesterday's gospel, still continues with the order of simplicity. Who is more important in the church? And this is a question we have to ask ourselves daily and day in, day out. If today people are coming here and these have been our disease, someone brings 1 million, we will allow them to talk in church. But the shosho who have been giving 50 bob every day or 10 bob is never viewed as anything in the church. Muheshimiwa is a muheshimiwa in church. In the church, there is no muheshimiwa. The muheshimiwa stays here. Jesus sits there and he says, this woman, in her simplicity, has given all that she had. And when you talk of a widow, it's very ugly in the ancient Middle East. A widow who did not have a son, everything that she had was taken away. Therefore, even giving these coins is also like the woman who gave Elijah in Sidon. When they went and asked for food, give us food. He cooked all the unga that she had. And what did she say? After this, I and my son are going to die. This widow is going to die because this was all that she had. She had no one to look after her, but she gave it all to God. When we have to give to God, don't look back. Don't think what people will say. Stand for what is godly, stand for what is true, and let your heart be simple as that of a child. Our King reminded us of the innocence of a child. He was never scared of nudity. A child will never be scared of his or her nakedness. Actually, if you go and observe mothers, when they wash those things in the basin and make a mistake of putting them out without wrapping them in a towel, they will run through all the house because they feel comfortable in nakedness. I wish to see one of you running around after shower. And because you are so corroded in the head, you can't run around. Because for us, nakedness is a shame. But for him, it was a glory because we were stripped back to the sanctity, to the righteousness of the Garden of Eden. That's why he went up there without no clothes, so that we could be given back the sanctity that we were given in the Garden of Eden. Let us remain simple. Let us remain in God's heart. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo.